So, uh, it's been 2 weeks since you were on here. Um, just
Yep.
because, things have slowed down a little bit now that we're not actively working on an update, which I feel might be driving you crazy. Am I accurate in that?
Nah, doing all right.
You're doing okay? That's good.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Um, I guess I've gotten used to the cycle of updates, and when we're not
Yep.
doing anything, it's like, oh, this is weird. What's next? Um,
Yep.
but it is nice to have a little bit of downtime.
It is.
Um, so what have you been up to the
Um,
past fortnight?
so lots of creative director stuff, conversations with people and talking with publishers and all the rest of that stuff. Um, but we kind of are working on the next update for before we leave. We're just doing some prototyping rather than normally we just kind of have just kind of crashed into the next update and it's like, yeah, we'll do this and this and this. Um, but this time we're taking a bit of a step back and actually trying some things out, doing
Mm.
some janky little prototypes to see if some of our ideas will work, um, which is going well. I think we're so far pretty happy that all the things we're thinking of adding will work.
So good.
Yep. Um, but not quite ready to. I wish this wasn't the case, but not quite ready to talk about them yet.
Mm. Yeah, true. Um,
But I mean, I guess we can say that kind of what we're thinking about for the next thing for before we leave is so up until we released on Steam, right? We haven't had any exposure to non-fans, I suppose you could say. Like, people will come onto our Discord and tell us what they think of the game.
mm.
But generally, if you're going to join a Discord, you're already to some degree a fan of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had heaps of good feedback and heaps of wonderful people and all the rest of it. But there's kind of that group of people, I mean, both people that don't like the game, but also people that like the game, but not enough to actually join a community and talk about it
Mm.
that we weren't exposed to.
Yes, that's always
Um,
frustrating.
so now that we're on Steam with the Steam forums and Steam reviews, we've got more exposure to those audiences, so we're able to hear better what they like and don't like and stuff. Um,
Yeah.
so the next update, we're kind of thinking of improving the game in ways that will help people that aren't super sold on it,
Mm.
um, which will be a nice addition, I think. Um,
I think so.
so yeah, some some improvements to some of the systems and some new things just to add like more variation and more choices in the game, which would be pretty cool.
That would be very cool. Yeah. Um, but we can't really talk about what that looks like yet, huh?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I guess partly it's because now that we're published by Team 17, we need to just run things past them, which is great because they have super good insight and feedback and all the rest of it. But
Yeah.
I don't want to tell you we're going to do this
And
and
then
then
change it.
be like, actually not anymore. Um,
That would
and I mean,
suck.
similarly, with the prototypes that we've done, we've created prototypes of a bunch of new stuff. And at some point, we'll probably release those to some of our testers.
Mm.
But until a few people have tried them and says, yes, actually, that is fun to play with, we don't want to tell people about it because it's the same thing. If we go, yay, we're going to do this, and then we try it with some players, and the players are like, well, that's dumb,
I
then
hate this actually.
suddenly it looks really bad because we've said we're going to do a thing and then we're not going to do a thing.
Mm.
So we're just being a little bit cautious about not wanting to talk about things too early because we don't want to get people's hopes up for a thing that winds up not happening.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. I also just want to address really quickly because one thing that we did say when we went to Team 17 to publish before we leave was that we retain full creative control of the game.
Yep.
That's still the case,
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
totally. Yep.
But we're just liaising with them to be like, hey, is this actually the worst idea in the world or not?
Yeah.
Because they have a lot more experience than we do.
Yeah, and they're sort of wanting to check, if we came along with an idea and said, hey, let's do this thing, it'll take 5 months, and then they think about it and go, 5 people will buy the game because of that. Why are you spending many tens of thousands of dollars of your money employing people to make it? You just got to check that kind of thing isn't going to go stupidly wrong.
Oh, true. Anyway, yes, the patch that we've got hanging out in the experimental branch right now.
Yep. So that was just, mostly it's just tiny little things for the Planet editor that we didn't quite have time to add in for the main release. A few little translation fixes and stuff like that. Let me just call up the thingy so I can talk about it knowledgeably.
Nice.
And there was a thing where if you set your difficulty settings for a game and then go to the Planet editor, it was kind of obeying some of those difficulty settings, and that was a bit odd. But the main thing that we added, which turns out to be super cool, is once it's released, you can click your scroll wheel, and that samples what's under the mouse and allows you to place that. And we've put that both in the Planet editor and in the main game. So if, like, in the main game you're like, oh, I want to build a hut, you just go middle click on a hut. Now you're placing huts, which is just super cool.
So I'm on the experimental branch right now, I think. Let me see if I can do that. So you select a house, let's say.
Yeah, or whatever, just middle click your scroll wheel on it, and theoretically it'll be like, now I'm building it.
Okay, it's not working for me. Maybe I'm not on the experimental branch anymore, or I didn't download the patch or something. Sad face. Bummer. That's okay.
Oh well,
I'll fix
next
it.
time.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to try that out, now it's on Wabi. It's on both the Planet editor and the main game. But if you want to try that out, you can on Steam you can change to the experimental beta branch. If you're on Epic and you want to try it out, then just give us a yell on Discord or wherever. We have to give you a separate key for it. Obviously, proviso is it is experimental. It may break stuff.
Please don't yell at us if something goes wrong. It's called experimental for a reason. I'm just showing everyone how to do it. You just you right click. I have to look at my right hand when I say that. Properties. Go down to betas, and it's just in the drop down here. We've also got like a ton of little things going on at the moment. So we're like having a lot of meetings. We're like talking about the studio's future, like looking really far forward and being like, okay, like who do we actually need to hire next to make the best game possible next time around. But also thinking about, the studio's future and job security and that sort of thing, which is always fun. How have you been finding that, Mr. Creative Director / founder / business owner?
It's so good. I'm really liking it. I mean, part of it, because the studio used to be just me, and it expanded to have you and Isaac and Anna and now Sarah. But there's still that process that we have to go through and are going through of shifting responsibilities off me. At the moment there's a lot of things I do not because I should be doing them, but because I have always done them. And it's really nice to be in that process. I mean, it's a little bit painful at times, and a little bit of working out motivations and why are we doing stuff and all the rest of it, but in general I'm really liking this process of, now we're a real studio with people that have their own responsibilities and I don't have to do all of the things anymore, and it's very nice. Yeah,
for sure. You're doing so well with it as well. The temptation is there to really just hang on to things, be like, no. I guess I will go through that if I do end up pivoting away from community management. Spoiler alert, sorry everybody, that might be a thing that happens at some point.
One day maybe,
but even now I'm just like, no, I hate this. Even thinking about it. So you're doing good. Wabby said something really nice too. I admire how much work and thought you put into the game. Yes, thank you. That's really nice. We try our bloody best, don't we?
Yeah, totally.
So, what else? So, as I said, we're doing a lot of little things. We're also like in the process of updating our website. It feels like we're just like using this period to kind of be like, okay, so what's next? Like,
yeah,
hiring
exactly.
and the update, website stuff. Is there anything else that we're doing on top of that?
I don't think so. That's enough to be going on with.
Yeah, for sure. We don't need to load up our plates to be like,
yeah,
super productive. You know, like doing one thing at a time is good. Actually, I'm kind of talking to myself right now.
Yeah, be told.
No. I had a thought recently when I was like writing up the Discord message for everyone to know that like the stream was going live. Oh, sorry about the siren, gang. Oh. I wanted to know, you're a really big fan of Discworld, right?
Yeah.
Like there's been tons of jokes about the great Atuin. Is that how you say it? Atuin?
Yes. Oh, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. Oh, the written word. Ugh. Has your love of Discworld influenced Before We Leave at all? And if so, can you talk about how?
I guess Discworld and other things have influenced my sense of humour, and things like the descriptions of the peeps are very much kind of my sense of humour, even though they were crowdsourced from the community. But I don't think it's not sort of explicitly one of the influences on the game.
It's
so sorry.
Oh, you don't have to apologize. I find that really interesting because I feel like those deep loves that you have for a type of media can like manifest in ways that aren't super obvious. So like your sense of humor and arguably, you know, when you develop your sense of humor, that also kind of links to your personality as well. So like, I'm really silly. I love absurdist humor, and I think that it kind of dictates partly how I live my life. So yeah, I would argue that even just the way that you've incorporated Discworld into your sense of humor and Terry Pratchett's writing into like the descriptions of the peeps, it's not like a super explicit influence, but it's certainly one that's like, if you look, you can find it. Actually, one really important thing. Next week, Sam, it'd be really cool to have all of you on for playing some Garticphone. Do you know what that is?
Yeah. I looked it up. I can't remember what it was, but I looked it up after you mentioned it.
We'll be able to see your drawings in their full glory.
Yay!
If we do that, I figure it might be a nice change, and people seem to really enjoy I cannot say it. Garticphone.
Garticphone.
Yes, Garticphone. So, we might do that next week if you're keen.
That'll be amusing.
Yeah, I can't wait. Stay tuned for news on that, everybody. I'll make a big song and dance about it.
Sweet.
Alright, Sam, well thank you once again.
No worries.
Have a great day, and I will talk to you later.
You too. Bye, everyone.
Bye.